Hello, it's Lion here with Hobbies Man. Once again, and today we're going to be doing another manga first impressions review. Today we're going to be looking at Daemons of the Shadow Realm by Hiromu Arakawa, who is the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist, Silver Spoon, the artist for Heroic Legend of Arslan, and there's something else that they wrote and that they created, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. But they are a prolific and very well-loved mangaka, and one that I personally don't really like all that much. Like, I've never found myself super interested in Fullmetal Alchemist. I like Heroic Legend of Arslan, but that's not really by them. That's more of them just drawing it. And I don't care about Silver Spoon. But yeah, so it was interesting to get into this and see, how I felt about the series. So it's published by Square Enix right there. This is kind of the 7 Seas type size. So it's smaller than your usual volume, and I got this at Walmart. It's priced at $13, but I got it for $9 or $10 if I remember correctly. So it was a pretty good deal, right? So yeah, the demographic for this is shonen. I can't remember what magazine this publishes in, but probably one from Square Enix. And the genres here are supernatural and adventure. And it does not have adaptation, but it's just a matter of time. This will probably get an adaptation as soon as there's enough content to adapt, right? In terms of a premise, though, this is basically about these two children that are part of this ancient tribe of people. And these two children are born, they're twins, and they're the children that will sunder the sun and the moon or something like that, or the light and the night. Basically, it's a dark child and a light child. And so one's a boy, one's a girl. It doesn't really matter which one's which, but you're going to get the idea. So there's two twins, they're born, and then something happens to separate these children, and we reunite with one of them as an adult, basically, after the beginning of the manga. And we follow him as he kind of goes through his life before there is a violent attack on his village. And it turns out this attack is being done by a group of people that actually are the ones that have his sister with them. And so it is the first time that they reunite in many, many years. And then something happens, and our main character has to bond with these two daemons that you can see back there, which are right and left. And they're these kind of dog creature demons. One of them's male, one of them's female, one of them's right, one of them's left. And one of them is nice and the other one's mean and stuff like that. It's basically like two halves of one whole, but they exist as separate entities. Very similar to the boy and his sister. And, it turns out that this little village is actually hidden away from the real world. The real world has moved on from what the people in the village believe. And we're actually in a modern setting. And so it is kind of a urban fantasy in that sense. There's also a hidden world element as well. But it is ultimately about a boy and a girl trying to come back and meet each other again, and the difficulties of dealing with the supernatural elements that are keeping them apart, that are separating them, and that are kind of trying to use them in order to bring chaos to the world. And it's really, really interesting. I quite liked it. I really, really did enjoy it a lot. It reminds me a lot of Blue Exorcist, actually. It has a good story. I'm happy I enjoyed it. And it's really interesting because this is maybe the first time that I've really enjoyed something by this author. And that's pretty exciting. I do want to say, though, that some of the translation choices are a little bit weird, because it's like the people that translated this obviously know English, and they should know that there's certain things that are just not said, or that they're said in a slightly different way, and they should just strive to do that, and I don't feel that they did. And the most clear example of this is the word helicopter. Not everyone wants to say helicopter, right? So most people actually end up saying chopper, right? Like there's a chopper coming down. And maybe this is a military word, but everyone understands what they're talking about when they say a chopper, right? And so the manga actually chooses to go with copter. Now, technically, helicopter can be shortened to copter, but I would usually see that with like an asterisk. Sorry, not an asterisk. a apostrophe or a, you know, one of those little like tilde things, and then have it copter, right? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but like you remove a part of the word, so you put a little apostrophe and then it keeps going. It would be copter like that, or it would change the word to something else, chopper, right? And they don't, and it's really weird that they never address that, because like I feel that that's more confusing than you know, actually using the whole word or using the correct shortened word, right? Like, do you eventually understand they're talking about helicopters? Yes. Would I have liked it if there was just chopper from the beginning? Yes. And so it's not really a big deal, but it's one that happened way too many times in too short of a time period that I noticed it, and it annoyed me quite a bit while I was reading that section of the story. Otherwise, it's pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. I really like the way that the characters communicate, and I like the aspect of like the main character and his two daemons talking in an old-timey fashion, and then everyone else talking in a modern way, and I think that that's fun. So there you go. That's Daemons of the Shadow Realm. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read it, and let me know if you've enjoyed it as well, and if you had similar issues with some of the translation elements here. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and see you guys later.